Okay, welcome to Minecraft. Oh, I hate the way this looks. Welcome to Minecraft. I haven't recorded anything in a long while. Um, I've been trying to find, like, the proper game to start playing again for stream's sake, because I haven't done anything. I haven't recorded anything. I haven't even put any effort towards it. I've just been in a super, super weird mental state, so I feel a little better. So I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. I was waiting for anything to happen to get me to start recording again, and it just so happened that for some reason, and I don't know why, and I don't know how it works, but as I was building these pillars downward, I suddenly fell into the water and met this person. I don't know why he's here. There's not a village for at least a mile that way. I don't know if the, hi. I don't know if the, traveling villager can spawn him, like, just by chance or whatever. But he lives there now. He's chilling in the ocean while I'm trying to build these pillars, which is cool. I have, obviously, a few mods installed, just for awesome visuals, and I think I nailed the direction, too. The village is, let's go to it. It's just over the mountain here. I mean, that's the closest one that I see anyways, so it's not like he wandered over from one. I don't think. At least I can't see that far. I just thought that that was a random kind of amazing thing. He's probably going to despawn just because I'm traveling so far. There's a village right there. It's actually a cool one, too. Small next to this awesome... This is my favorite, like... I don't know, what is it called? I know it as, like... What do you call it? I know it's a sakura forest, but, I'm thinking of, not the Romans. Is it the Romans? Yeah, the Romans. Oh no, the Spartans. The Spartans. Spartacus. They lived on top of a mountain with these nice trees. I'm not smart, and I'm very tired. It takes me a minute. I also get sidetracked way too easily. Let's continue building these pillars. My original goal was to... This was totally just sidetracked of me to even build this monstrosity. I was trying to build, like, a base of operations that, like, a beacon, essentially, just so I knew where I was, like, situated in the world. So I can start building around this place. Whenever I start a new world, or a creative world, I do a cube. Like, iPod Mail, if anyone's old enough to know who that was. I don't even know what they're doing now, if they're doing anything. But they did, like, a giant cube. It's the easiest thing you can possibly build. It's just a big cube in the sky. And they always surrounded it with, like, nether fence, and they used it to, like, do mod showcases inside. I think theirs were much bigger, though. This is about as big as I'm willing to make it. But I wanted to make it like a functional base, sort of. So I started doing the staircase, and having a giant floating cube started to look less and less appealing the more I added to it. I actually don't really like these, like, balcony situations. I just didn't know what to do with the space. Oh my god. Okay. That's a very strong rain. But, I didn't know what to do with the extra space under the staircase. I actually think it would have been better if I left it blank. But at the very least, I thought if I add these pillars, it might look a little bit better. But, ultimately, there's going to be a giant, like... If you've seen a... what are they called? I haven't actually heard the name in a long time. Those Japanese buildings with the, like, tiers and the pointy roofs. I don't know what they're called, and I'm going to say the wrong name, so I'm not going to say it. But these pillars, they're not too overly complicated. I wanted to, like, I don't know anything about making patterns and stuff to make things look a little nicer. This is about as good as it's going to get, at least for now. I know I have all the blocks necessary to do like mossy and cracked stuff, just to make a building look a little better. A little more natural, I guess. But I'll do that later. At least everything can be shiny in the beginning. I tried to do too. I was gonna just leave it a floating cube and have a portal, like only a one-way portal to get inside, but it was annoying. And I got it to work on the roof, and then I had it positioned right here, and then I realized that the portal I had was 2 blocks opening. Wow, I suck. And the staircase, because this thing was just built, it had to be 3 blocks for the staircase, so it was off-center, so I destroyed it. And I know you can make, like, bigger... I think you can make wider portals now, but I just didn't like the way it looked, so I got rid of it completely. There's a mushroom. Oh my god. Right, those are mushrooms? That's cool. This is actually a really cool place to be building in. This texture pack is a little extreme, I'm not gonna lie. Or the shader pack. It looks really nice, and every time I get out of the water I get blinded a little bit, but maybe a little too cinematic for like average use. But it's also like one of the lighter weight ones somehow. Like it doesn't take much power to run. Whenever I try using the what is it called? Unbound shaders to make the clouds look like giant bubbles, it doesn't really work well. And that's probably just me. That's probably just a version of the game I'm using. Oops. I know there's mods that can help me build easier, because this is very slow, but I do like doing it on my own. I'm just not very fast. And it feels like the game controls used to be different, because it used to be I can just hold it down and move a direction, and it'll just like fill it in. Or maybe I'm thinking of like Xbox controller days, but it doesn't feel like I can do that anymore. I can kind of, but I have to be slow about it, which is fine. I like the map, by the way. I've never had a mini-map before in Minecraft, and it's kind of amazing. I forgot the name of any of the mods I'm using. I only added in the map, villager names, because that was fun, and visually the way they look. And if anyone people should recognize that this is the Yogscast texture pack. At least it used to be. I don't know what they do now. But I don't remember what other mods. Oh, I'm using a furniture mod, which I'm probably not really gonna use. I only wanted it for the chairs and the tables. I have it in. You can see it. Well, they're here anyways. I don't know. I forgot how to get to the menu. Oh, there we go. So that's cool. There's a lot of modern stuff you can use for it, but I mostly build like medieval looking houses. Besides this, it's actually ugly. The more I look at it, the more I hate it. I know I can make it look better with time. It really needs a roof is what it needs, and underneath I can probably do something here and cover this mess up. It is taking me way too long to build this. Lately, my main problem with trying to get into the recording game again is, I mean, yeah, of course, anxieties play a big part, but it's also just like focus, I guess. I can't really focus my mind on any one particular project. I wanted to get into like a big story game, and then I want to do like a shorter game. Then I get super unsure of what I'm gonna say in the video, so I just avoid it entirely. And then I get bothered by the wanting to do a thumbnail and not wanting to spend time to do it, just because it takes forever, and I just haven't had the time. And which that is a lie. I usually have a lot of time, but I just spend it doing the wrong things. Time management, discipline, and all that. because it is easier if I just talk about random bullshit, but it's also, and I can see it happening in real time, and it's hard for me to get back on track. Even now, it's just a mess. My brain is a mess. It's too easy for me to jump from one topic to the other, and for me to cut my own self off with a different topic and not remember what I was saying previously. I'm already pretty sure I didn't finish like 3 sentences, which is fine. I'm kind of just living through it, and I need to get used to just general dialoguing. So why not do this game for it? Because it's also a case of like multitasking, right? It's hard for me to build and try and come up with something interesting to talk about. Not that everything has to be interesting, but I don't have much to say that's related to what I'm actually building. And I just remembered what I didn't finish. I don't like that the sun does that. The reason I even had this creative world was not for this ugly thing, but for making, what do you even call it? Like almost a movie setup. Not really a movie, but I write short stories and I make character designs all the time, but I don't really have much format to like bring them to life. So I thought I would build like certain sets here, which would be cool, like a tavern in a city, whatever, long term. But I have to start small with it, otherwise I'm never gonna do anything. Which is in contrast to this big fucking thing I've spent 2 days doing for no reason. I just wanted to do like a quick tavern and have signs, almost like a museum prop setup, I guess, where you're walking through the house and you just see signs, just so you could get a general idea of what I was going for. And I haven't done that yet, because I totally forgot about it after building this. After I put these pillars in, I do want to do a roof. And then we should be done with this thing for a while. My problem is that I know it's ugly, but I don't want to leave it ugly. And it already exists, and it would take way longer to destroy this thing than it would be to just try and make it look nicer. But it's probably a lost cause. I just need to do one more pillar, though. Nice squid. Trapped a local wildlife in there. I don't even know what version of the game I'm playing on anymore. It took me a while to like actually get this game running. Only because I'm trapped in my own. Only because certain versions of the game don't really work. Like the newest version of the game for me really is laggy, and I can't find the right shaders that don't like mess up the game entirely. I'm at relatively the newest update, so I can still use a lot of the modern stuff. I'm only like an update or 2 behind, so I'm not too mad at this. I didn't want to go too old and like lose out on majority of the the way the terrain generates. I was playing on the what is it called? What is the server called that Yogscast used? The MoonQuest servers. I was playing on that for a while, and that was fun. I actually prefer the combat system in that to this, because it takes away the stamina bar that you can see in the middle. I could probably have a mod that adds it here, but I mean, it's not like we're playing survival right now. But yeah, I was playing on that for a while, and then I stopped because I'm an idiot and I don't know how to build rockets, and it looked way too complicated, so I stopped forever. But it was neat anyways. I liked mining a bunch of different ores that I didn't know how to use. A certain shading like that, for some reason, is darker, and from a distance it blends in. I don't really get that. That's like the, you know when you see 2 of the exact same shades of gray, and one above and one below looks different, but when you put your finger in the middle, it's exactly the same color. Actually, that's happening right here. That's kind of amazing. I don't get that, and I'm not smart enough to explain why that happens. One more pillar. And the only thing I can do, like, I have the staircases splitting off and going into the pillar, so it makes sense on this side. On the other side, I just had to force it, and I'm gonna have to, at least to make it somewhat work, I'll make a staircase going upward to the roof, and maybe do a small door or something, or a ladder. But we'll see. It'd have to be here, so the door would make sense somewhat. Both sides. Thoughts? I'd maybe extend it like one block over, so I would have... I'm bad at this game. Okay. So it would look like that, because I like having a gap. I can't see what my model looks like. I can't remember which one I'm using. I can't see, and I don't want to exit the game just to see it, or tab out. But, I'm going through my supernatural phase right now. So I am way into plaid. I'm pretty damn far in the series. I'm almost done with it. I'm not almost, but I'm like 4 seasons away from the end, and anyone who knows Supernatural knows it's fucking long. And it took me forever anyway. I know people can binge watch anything in like 3 days, but it's taken me months to finish Supernatural just because I get so distracted doing random stuff that has no meaning. I love this birch forest. I made sure to specifically find a lake by the birch forest. Everything else was just a bonus. This was awesome. Did I finish that pillar? No, I'm missing a bar right there. Here's the problem with me. When I make a design, I can't remember it. So if I can't see it somewhere in the vicinity of where I'm trying to build it again, I can't build it. Because I don't remember where I put things. I just put things eyeballing it. It's nice to have the coordinates, but I don't actually... It's kind of hard to stand, like, where I need to be and then fly over to another area without accidentally going a block above. So it's nice, but it's still an eyeball. I don't even know if this looks good. I just wanted to have something, like, break up the solid gray. And cobblestone, at least in this texture pack, looks pretty nice. Same thing here. I need to... No, my brain won't comprehend it. Yeah, I'll understand this. I'm trying to pillar over just so I can see where the separations are. Going too far, I think. There, I'll understand that. That way, when I get down there, come back. You know what I wanted to get back into too was what the hell is it called? I mean, it's not called anything. I wanted to... I used to, when I first played Minecraft, watch the tutorials to just build random nonsense online. I totally forgot the name of the YouTuber I would watch, but he was the one who showed me how to do the, like, tanks and helicopters and TNT, automatic TNT throwers, at least how it worked back in the day. Stone. These pillars mean absolutely nothing. I kind of kind of was going for, like... Oof. Hopefully that's not bothersome on the eyes, but I was kind of going for, like, if anyone's played Elden Ring, you've seen those giant, walking church bells. Kind of like that. It's kind of pointless, though. A little bit. That's a game I should have... I mean, I did play a little bit of it for recording's sake, but I don't think I did it on this channel. I hope it is actually okay that I have Minecraft music playing in the background. I'm not sure that it is. That sounds weird, because I can totally just play the normal in-game, and it would be fine. But YouTube is funny about audio tracks, and it's really good at spotting them. And if I'm silent for too long and let the Minecraft music play in the background, it'll flag it, and I have to remove it, which is fine. Usually, if it flags it, it's because I'm not talking, and removing it is fine because there's no real content lost, as if there was any to begin with. But I'd like to avoid that because it causes annoying tears in the video. Or just like skipping, and I don't like that. Because I want it to be natural? Question mark? I want to not be able to edit as much as possible. I hate editing. I used to love it, and now I don't. And I'm starting to come to the realization, too. This is a big thing for me. This is a breakthrough, guys and gals. Is just because I can do something doesn't mean that I should do something with certain talents that I have beginner knowledge of. Like, yes, I spent a long time editing videos for a few people, and including myself, and mostly myself. I hate it, and I thought I liked it. I like the outcome more than the process, the art of process, which I have also been listening to on the side. And I fooled myself into thinking I liked it. I liked the result, but the effort to going into it was becoming more and more lax, and therefore making it a chore and unfun, which is not really the point of this. Kind of semi the same thing with like doing original thumbnails for every single video I have, which is not like that much to ask if we're being perfectly honest. I don't post that often, so there is no reason I can't like draw my own thumbnails by hand. But it only becomes a problem when I like get super into a binge like video creation phase, and I have and make like 4 videos in a week, and then suddenly I have to make thumbnails for each of those videos, and it takes like 2 days for me to draw a thumbnail roughly okay. And then you have to imagine too, for the longest time I did not finish this side. For the longest time, here's the perfect world, ideally, I guess. In a perfect world, I'm recording all the videos, I'm making a script, I'm cutting out every single pause, every single actually, shaving down at least 2 hours into 30 minutes, which is what I always did and was always a nightmare because I just over-talk and cannot tell the difference between what is content-worthy and what is just spewing nonsense, which is most of my effort. And then having to make the thumbnail by hand, original concept, because I hated doing copy paste my face onto a thumbnail, a screenshot of the game. And then, if I was playing the same game, if I was playing the same game multiple times, decide whether I was going to make an original thumbnail for every single video in that series. It just is a nightmare. It's a nightmare logistically for a solo person to do everything. And that's why YouTubers have editors, which is great. Happy for them. Even if I could afford someone, I still would prefer to do it myself, which also leads me to not doing it at all. So, you know, you take what you can get. But I mean, ultimately, none of this means anything. Literally. I don't have to do anything. I am the master of my own universe, whatever. So for the most part, especially now, I don't think there's any videos on this channel that were like super hardcore edited. Just because I just did not care to, really. And it didn't feel like I was... You can only add to the benefit of a video so much, or there's diminishing returns, and removing every single, like, filler word is just not that worth it. If you really want to do, like, YouTube shorts and retain attention, sure, it matters. But if you're just trying to make videos for the sake of rambling off your brain, then you don't have to do all the extra nonsense. Is he still in the water? He is still in the water. A lot of it is just whatever, being comfortable in your own skin. That is basically what I'm trying to boil everything down to. Putting too much effort into something that you don't actually enjoy, it just isn't worth it. Which, sure, it can be counterintuitive for a lot of things. You just gotta pick and choose your battles, basically. I feel, at least for this particular game, I don't want to edit. So I'm not going to. I don't want to. The only time I'll really edit is if YouTube says I have to. Which is cool. All first world problems, right? Most of this, anyways, spurred from me, like, feeling I had to do something just to fill, like, time, I guess. Not doing something on my own days off, because I do work 9 to 5. Well, 5 to fucking 3 in the morning. Overnight, maybe, but, it takes a toll. And I felt, not doing anything on my 2 days off was not very productive and draining. And the reality is I don't have to do anything. I could just take the 2 days. But I do want to do some things. At least to pretend to accomplish a goal. And even now, it's the end of my off days, basically. I've already had my 2 off days, and it's the end of the last day. It's Monday morning at like 6 something. It's probably 7 by now in the morning. And I got the spurt of energy to start building and make a video. I had all yesterday and today to do it, and I just didn't, because I didn't want to, and I didn't feel it. I didn't feel up for it. And even to do this, I spent the last, like, 20-30 minutes doing vocal exercises, because that's what I feel I have to do every time I'm going to start recording. And I do need them, because I'm really bad at speaking. It's very difficult, which is why I don't read much, and that doesn't help. So I'll do the same. I should be doing a variety, but I do the same, like Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers just to warm up my voice. And I know I don't even know the entire exercise. It's just that's that part of it, and then I'll add something to it myself and repeat that for like 10 minutes. It's funny too, because I would never too be like, I'm not super coordinated, I guess. What do you even call it? Like, it is not my default brain to be like, oh, I need to practice this so many times a day to be good at a thing. I just, doing vocal exercises before a video is so intrinsic that I don't even think about it, and it always ends up being like a 5-10 minute task, so it works out in my favor, but I definitely never plan to do it, I just do it. Even having water to my side, because I don't talk that much, my throat hurts very quickly. So water helps. I don't know how people forget to drink water. It's very difficult. And I definitely need it. Okay. Ugh, it looks ugly. It looks ugly as sin. I'm hoping having a staircase going up. Should it go in? No, I don't want it to go inward. I'm not really sure. I kind of hate it. The more I'm looking at it, the more I hate it. Let's just make sure we finish this properly, though. At least having... This isn't too hard to follow with my brain. I can walk, and it stays in the same direction. Or same, I'm going straight forward. I'm not moving up or down as I'm flying, which I don't think was ever a thing, but my brain feels like it was, so I'm going to say it was. I think when you were, before it used to be when you were sprinting, you're going the direction that you're looking, so it would force you up or down like you were flying, Elytra style. I still wish I knew how you got underwater. Where'd you go? Oh, you made it out. I wish I knew where you came from, buddy. Oh, let's go visit the village. I'm on peaceful, so I don't think I can harm anyone by being there. I'm creating an eldritch creature at this point. These villagers don't know what's happening on the other side of this mountain. Just to show off the mods I have. Oh, I didn't even notice this was here. I must have flown over it. Maybe that's why, maybe he was up here and he just spawned here on accident and like wandered all the way over to where I was, which is kind of amazing. Because I do pass through here every once in a while. Well, we should probably... Stacy, can I take your bed? I like the mod to have them actually look like people. I think it's cool. And they all have names, and they all pop up on the minimap. Isn't that nice? And there's another iron golem here. Anton? Unisex name, surely. I know I can edit the name list, but it doesn't really matter unless I use all like unisex names. I actually thought about doing that, which would be kind of cool. Like Sam, that's a nice unisex name. And that's all of the names I know. It wouldn't be such a bad idea. I may go back and do it later, but I don't know if it'll change the names that already exist. Whoa. Oh, okay. I thought that was like 2 smaller mountains and a bridge in between. That would have been amazing. What is this, like, hole into the abyss, though? Oh, a ravine. Water ravine. That's cool. I don't want to get too lost, though. I don't want to get lost. If we were playing survival, literally, right now, and I even here I can do it and just, like, wander off. I like just traveling, literally, until I find a village, and then I'll build a wall around it and protect it and build it up. That's my only goal in the game, is to make a village safe. Far from me just not going there and ruining their existence, because the only time they're actually in danger is when I'm around. Or just when the player is around in general, because obviously mobs spawn around you. So it's kind of the only time their existence is threatened. But I do like using slabs to make the area safe, basically, instead of using like a bunch of torches everywhere, because mobs can't spawn on half slabs. At least the bottom half of a slab. Which can look ugly, but also like a little dystopian, so it's kind of cool. I'd have to show an example for it to even make sense. It'd basically be doing this, but everywhere. And there's ways to make it look cool. You can make it look like an entire... what's the city that's like raised up on stone platforms? Is it... and slowly flooding? Is it like Italy? You can make it look cool. It's just kind of difficult and takes a lot of effort and time. Am I missing anything? Well, it's daytime. Am I missing anything on the pillars? I'll just do one scan around. Yes. All right. I am... I have to think a lot before I try and, like, say anything on recording, because not like I'm not allowed to say anything, but there's a lot of stuff where I'm like, is it oversharing if I talk about anything personal life on recording? Because it's... All I want from these, videos is to be able to just, like, ramble off nonsense, and I guess if people want to hear it, cool. But I also don't want to, like, mention stuff. Like, I wouldn't want to mention political topics or whatever, because I just don't care to. Even if I do have an opinion one way or the other on a lot of subjects, it's still not something I would bring up ever. Unless something, like, personally affected me, I guess. But it is a fact that I watch a lot of the news. Definitely far more than I should. Oh, my legs hurt from sitting in this chair awkwardly. And it definitely adds to certain anxieties that I just organically have anyways, which is fine. And everyone deals with their own nonsense. But I can't say that watching the news has positively affected my wanting to pursue certain hobbies. Just because it feels like such a downer, I guess? It feels like a lot of... It's hard for me to enjoy something when other people are in a situation where they 100% can't. And that's just a horrible way to go about anything in life. Not an insensitive way, necessarily, but a unhelpful reaction to expand on. Or to give the time of day, basically. Can I connect these? Would connecting these be weird? They're technically the same width, right? I heard about what happened with Camila, and it was awful. it was completely, like, perspective changing here. And I'm not gonna mention what happened. I'm just, you know. This looks pretty cool, actually. I don't mind doing this. I might connect all the pillars like this. That affected me in a way I haven't had before affect me with the news. And I know I definitely keep up with the news far more than anyone should. I believe you should stay informed, but having it totally affect you mentally through the day is not okay. And I don't know how to do it, how to avoid it without feeling some level of, like, I guess, guilt in whatever sort of way, whatever sort of nightmarish personal way. Because it feels like I'm just watching a car crash, basically, and doing nothing, or being incapable of doing anything. But it's not something you should dwell on at all, but not something you should ignore, I guess. That's the I don't know, Schrodinger's cat of it, I guess. You know what's happening, and you know it's always going to be happening, and there isn't a whole lot you can do about it, unless you really, really want to dedicate your life to doing something about it, I guess. But also, it shouldn't be something that, like, affects your day forever, every day. Because there's always going to be bad stuff on the news. This is just happens to be a time in particular that a lot of bad things are happening on the news. I don't know if I like this. I did that incorrectly. I did do that incorrectly. Why didn't you stop me? At the same time, I do like to acknowledge that this is a helpful medium for me to even talk about anything. And I can't help it either, because obviously it's very noticeable that I nitpick around the words that I'm trying to say. Like, I feel like I'm always being offensive no matter what I'm saying, and that's just an unhealthy trait in general to have. And of course I don't want to be offensive ever, but it's inevitable. It doesn't matter what you say, you're always gonna eventually say something that someone doesn't like, and all I can do is be comfortable with my own speech patterns and move on. I like this. This is cool. It kind of loses its structural integrity a bit, but it does mean I can shape the walls a little more. So cool. And the staircase works. I actually wanted to play Skyrim. We should play Skyrim for sure. On the channel. I have a lot of mods. I use mods, by the way, in a lot of games. At least the games that are usually always modded in, like Minecraft, Skyrim, Fallout. When's the last time you've seen someone play those games without mods? Unless they were trying to be nostalgic or something. Not that the games aren't fun on their own, and I don't use any game affecting mods. I always use just visual stuff because I like it. And I was actually hesitant to use the furniture mod in this because it seemed a little weird, and I didn't like using it, but it didn't really affect anything. I did that wrong again. I made the design. How do I get it wrong? What was I saying? I don't use any mods that affect the gameplay, just the visuals. That's usually the case. But Skyrim and Fallout, of course, have their official patches or whatever. Official in modding the modding community, I guess, that help fix certain bugs and regain certain lost dialogues, which is cool. People are very smart. So of course I use those. Even Fallout 4 specifically is what I'm talking about. I've never played the other games, so I can't really tell you how modding works in those, because it doesn't feel like there's a difference. I've seen New Vegas, and modding doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, you can do a whole lot of crazy stuff with moddings, but visually, I don't think you can really alter the game all that much, so it's fine. My throat hurts. But I used to play Skyrim a lot. Same with Fallout. I used to play it literally all day forever. It was a game I would wake up, immediately start playing before work, and then leave, come back, and play it again. Because it was just all I would do was absorb that. Same with this game. They're just easy games to jump into whenever. Yeah. We'll play it eventually. Skyrim for sure. Maybe not Fallout so much. I mean, I have an episode of Fallout on the channel. I think I have like 2 or 3, maybe. And I didn't really go very far. And I stopped because it got boring. Not really boring, but I got totally sidetracked and played a different thing, and now it's just gone to the ether. I don't like that door placement anymore. And it's on the other side, too. Whatever. It works for now. I was having a total meltdown this morning, too, making the staircase, because I could not figure out... I had this staircase lined up right, and then I had the other side pushed over 1 block. Ruined everything. I was totally... I could not figure out for the life of me what was wrong when I got down to the staircase, and this door did not line up with the other door, and I could not figure it out. It took me like half an hour to actually realize what I had done, and I had to just sit up high and stare down for like 10 minutes and be like, what has gone wrong? And that's my life, basically. So what do we do about these? I could, like, make this connect to the roof when the roof is going to be connected. It'll be a tall fucking roof, too. I don't mean to curse. I don't want to curse too much. It'll be a very tall roof. And I kind of like the idea of it peeking into the clouds, but I don't actually think I can... The skybox actually doesn't allow me to hit the clouds, so I guess it's fine. We'll see. Let's sleep. Still don't like that. This whole tower idea is, like, kind of pointless anyways. It really was. I get lost easy. And I'm not good with directions. Which is probably why I just wander for the most part. In a regular game of Minecraft, I follow the sun, literally. I don't know if this texture pack, the sun is off center on purpose or whatever, because it's kind of going off. It's kind of drifting off this way, which is fine. I would usually just go the direction the rising sun is, and I keep walking and looking at the sights around me. That's it. That's my whole experience. Unless something warrants me to go another direction, I don't change off that course. And I totally like doing that, because it also means I know if I turn around and go towards the falling sun, I'm going back home, eventually, at some point. Usually. Because you can totally just go straight towards the sun forever, but, like, be slightly going curved or whatever. Because the sun, even if I'm looking in this, as long as I'm looking in this direction, I could keep going left or right or whatever for a very, very long time and not realize until I turn back around and go all the way straight and then totally pass up my house. Which happens. Oh my goodness. It's so cool. We should play. I gotta stop saying like we should play a game because I've definitely said that in every single video I've ever made ever. And I have a tendency to repeat myself because I am I make a video and then I take an extended leave, basically. So I'll forget what I said. And usually I say the same things, which I guess is a good thing because it usually means I'm not lying. But I hate doing that also. We should build something though. But the roof is gonna look ugly here. Cause here's what I was talking about when let's do the Japanese wall. I shouldn't say whether, I don't even know if that's a Japanese wall or anything. You'll know what I'm talking about though. Concrete. You'll see it. I'm sure. Because it would be 1, 2, 3. The walls would probably be here, right? I don't like that. It would probably be... That looks very nice. You can't lie. Like, you know how you see the walls? It should extend a little more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? That works. And that's a wall. Gap, probably 2 blocks. I miss the days where you could look down from like 5 blocks high and place blocks. Feels like I have to get super close. 1, 2, 3, 4. It could also be my FOV. Did I guess that correctly too? That would be amazing. I don't think it's gonna work on the end here. 1, 2, 3. Does it work? 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Yeah. That's cool. That worked. That's not gonna work on the other sides, I don't think. This isn't gonna look good at a distance. 2, 3, 4, 5. I like this wood texture. 1, 2, 3. I should do the bottom layer just so you can actually see what the hell's happening. Because, yeah, the corners connect, that's fine. I miss watching Afmo. I don't know what she does now. I think she still does Minecraft stuff, but I miss watching her. She's like one of the major reasons I even play this game, but also because I like role-playing so much, but never actively participate in it. I mean, of course, everyone loved, past tense, Sky does Minecraft. That didn't work out very well in the end, which is fine. Everyone separated. Everyone had problems. They're all human. I don't remember what Sky did, actually. I remember him being, like, a pretty messed up person. Not that I remember him being. That was just how I heard that scenario ended. But I heard he got better, question mark? Personality-wise? Hopefully that's true. Half Mile seemed to do well. She worked out, I think. it's kind of hard to go back and watch like an older YouTube. I'm totally afraid to go back and be like, well, I wonder what this person does, because it's totally true. Things go horribly wrong in people's lives, and that's fine. That's life. Some things have always been wrong, and it was just masked, and that's worse. That's worse when that's the case, because it puts a dark stain on a old memory, basically. I miss, too, and I don't... it's so hard to be like, I miss this streamer, because especially when they did something awful, allegedly, whether it was true or not, I had no idea, because I wasn't there, and I can't prove nothing. This looks terrible. I forgot his name. Basherverse? He used to be cool, and then I heard some, of course, the minor drama, and then I was like, nope, we'll just stay away from that forever. Same with Dr. Disrespect. People suck. Don't meet your heroes, basically. I don't like this. This doesn't... It looked better in my head. My brain says if I keep placing stuff, it will fix itself. I love the way this rain looks right now. We're on fucking Mount Olympus. I didn't mention it too, but I have a little chest. And 3D hair, which is nice. Lots of mods. Well, not that many, actually. Just a few, small mods. I thought it was cute anyways. This is good though. I want to do more Minecraft stuff just because it focuses. It's hard to say focus either because I'm a mess, but I am not super overstimulated and I can actually process my thoughts, which is good. Because a lot of the time I get caught like heavy doom scrolling basically forever. This will look better. I swear it will look better. You just have to bear with me. But I'm really bad about doom scrolling and just constantly filling my brain with like too much information. So it's hard to focus. One reason I'm stretching, I'm sorry. One reason we should end this soon because I think it's starting to get like too late, but too early. Let me get some water. One of the reasons it's super difficult, again, first world problems, obviously. Super difficult for me to like put myself in the mindset to record is just I need noise. I have a really big problem with like silence. And partly due to, like, bad tinnitus, sure. I can't be in silence anyways because of that. But having to fill, like, the void with constant, like, just chat. It doesn't matter necessarily what it is. I'll put on the Game Grumps or I'll watch the same old series I was watching fucking 14 years ago. Just the constant need for noise. And I do watch a lot of like ASMR stuff, but it just feels like trading one bad habit for another, kind of. And ASMR can help, but it also tunes me out a little more than I feel I should be tuned out for an extended period of time, if that makes sense. Like, it's very enjoyable for the most part, but it also feels like it turns off my brain too much to where I don't want to really do anything. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to think because I'm so into the ASMR experience. This little thing is a rotator tool. I don't know what if it has too many functions or uses, because mostly everything is positioned the way you place it, or it faces you usually, right? So I don't feel like it's entirely useful. I'm not very good at placing stuff. And I did have a thing for a while. One easy way to get back into like a recording mindset is to play something that you're generally good at. Or not good at. You generally don't have to think too much about playing. So for me, that was Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead or Gears of War, but I don't have Gears of War. So Left 4 Dead was the go-to if I was going to play to get back into... It was a very easy game to play, control-wise, and you don't have to think too much. Everything is very simplistic. You know what your objective is, you're just going, and bullets aren't that hard to come by, so it's not, like, absurdly difficult. And it's very easy to react to, and that's my main thing, is being able to find a game that I can easily react to, because that's where my more interesting commentary comes in, other than just like spouting off random nonsense or whatever the next thought in my brain is. Because it's very, very easy, and it's also kind of like easily distracted, sort of, but it works in my favor. Because as soon as someone starts talking, I am fully attentive and responsive. It doesn't matter who it is in the world. That's why it's so easy. As soon as I hear a noise, that's it. I'm there. I'm locked in. So it makes it easier for me to like respond to stuff, especially when the characters are interacting with each other. That's always cool, and I always chime in as if I'm right next to them. Just old habits, I guess. I know it hasn't been like a full hour because this audio for Minecraft soundtrack is only an hour long, which is good because I will lose track of time and we will just keep building forever. It has to be wood. This has to be wood. Oh, front... I don't like that. I don't even know if this is a good design. I'm kind of just making it up as I go. I used to know how to build these. What is they called? A Pangea? I can't remember. Where it was tiers that looked like this, kind of. I can't even see it in my brain anymore. I used to build them all the time. It was a Japanese, I know it's a Japanese, it has to be, because my brain says it's Japanese, style of house. Do I want it 2 out? I'd like the 1 out. 1 out makes more sense. Oh, and you also need to Jungle would be nice. Especially since that's what the inner walls are made out of. You break up the color palette on the inside and just have the darker stairs as a trim. But that also means I have to use what is it called? Jungle planks. We don't need slabs anymore. We honestly didn't need birch slabs at all, but that's fine. I can't have it be too complicated because I won't remember how to do it on the other side, especially for this massive roof. Let's just do one side because my brain can handle one. Because it needs to be going in like pretty steep, I guess. Oh god, I'm gonna get confused. This house is... I've built one of these roofs before. I just don't... My brain can't see it anymore again. And I think I guessed it probably was a case that it wasn't symmetrical. And I just kind of left it that way. If this has a roof, if this building has a roof, everything else can fall into place. I believe it. So... Because it doesn't matter if the roof is that tall or not. I just was hoping to do like a steep interior. I know people... watching people be so, like, fast at building is just crazy. Like, try watching Bed Wars and then try and build your house afterwards. You'll feel... It's like watching an episode of Hoarders and then cleaning your entire house immediately after the episode closes. It's not good. Lightning. You know, it was bad weather all day today, actually. But we still were able to get food, so I can't complain. Shockingly, I always feel bad sacrificing someone else to the elements just so I can get some fast food. But people always do it, which is incredible dedication. They forgot my milkshake though, so no tip. No, I'm kidding. Always tip. I did get refunded too, though, for that. This is kind of like a violent, or aggressive orange, if I'm being honest. I don't need any of these right now. Get these out of my inventory. Spruce. I am afraid a little bit to build like too much at a time and then have to like disassemble it because something went wrong. Um, but we'll live with it. One block, one block. That's correct. I have to drink a lot of water. Yeah. Yeah, that works. Whoa. Saw that in the background. Let's try going steep for the next one, right? So that was immediately wrong. But like, does that look bad? Yes, it does. What? Eldritch Horror? I don't really like that texture for the... I know it's just the texture for the lightning breaking, but it looks crazy. Would it be better if I just went up higher? No, this warrants just like following the same for a while. I think that's the only way to go right now. I don't know how to do like... It's not until you get to like closer to the top, right? That you do a steeper curve. I should like mark too. This is the center. It gives me something to work towards. God, that's kind of long. The roof would end up being like up there, which is not something I'm totally opposed to, but it'll look ridiculous. I want this to be like a monolith, basically, so it's not the worst thing. I just want to make it to the center. Okay. It's just so I have a reference that 3 ends there. But that's the staircase, so we'll see how I remember it. It'll be easier. It'll make sense. I promise you. This is correct, right? And it still leaves the gap? Yeah. This is taking 100% of my brain power. Because right there is the staircase. Yeah, I did it right. This is a reference point. And then I know that the next ones... correct? Yeah, that's fine. I think. I should add to the staircases. I love this music. I'm not sure how I ended up doing that. Okay, well, at least it's there. It looks ugly as sin, but it'll work. I do actually, I'll do like a center, log, you know, for support beams later. But at least this, you'll have a basic frame, basically. I shouldn't say basically so much, it's a bad habit. Here's another first world problem. My meta glasses that I was using got banned from my job, which is acceptable, honestly. It shouldn't have been there in the first place. I just liked having it on my face. And as long as it was prescription, of course, so it was mostly just fine. But someone, I think it's kind of a lie, honestly, but I was told that one of the higher-ups got fired for, I guess, using them and not agreeing to not use them at work. And now no one can have them, which is pretty much me. No one else has them but me and apparently one other person that I've never heard of. So I was a little salty about that, because I mean, it meant I had to get a whole new pair of glasses, but it was covered by insurance, so it was fine. Just, it's a time waster. And right now, I'm wearing my old out of prescription glasses, so my head, I've had bad strain on my eyes for the last few days because of it. Oh, the other side? No, okay. No. The music stopped. I think it has been an hour. Let me check. I mean, it has only been an hour. Well, an hour and 18 minutes, which is fine. I rewinded the music. It instantly bothered me that there was no sound. One thing I'm trying to, like, get used to is the idea that it is fine to have... Oh, I did that totally wrong. What am I doing? It's fine to have issues. I've been really, really struggling with that concept. I do firmly believe that people should go and seek therapy, and that I should at some point, but not right now. I just don't have it in me. Because I know I definitely have I have too many anxieties that I'm just neglecting and pushing through in a way and just ignoring them overall. And I've been letting it get too overwhelming. To the point where I don't want to record a lot, and I already have a feeling. I'm trying not to. Saying it out loud makes it a reality in a way, because I'm just so bad about, like, I'll make one video, and then I'll go on a hiatus for 3 weeks to a month, and it's not like I can't do that. It just, there's not much reason for it. But, you know, you deal with it as you go. I know where a lot of my issues spur from, and of course, ignoring it doesn't help you in any way. Wow, that looks nice. But no matter what I say, it's an excuse, is basically what I'm trying to say. It's very hard to talk about personal problems without, like, taking responsibility in whatever manner that involves. Not everything has to be your own fault, but enough... everyone should have enough accountability that acknowledging that you're not actively working on your own problems is not good. Isn't something you should dwell on, I guess, but I do sometimes. But I mean, to be honest, a lot of problems, not all problems, but a lot of problems can be worked through just through, you know, making friends or whatever, just talking to people. Doesn't have to be much. This is, in my mind, a helpful distraction, even if it's not, even if it's just temporary. I find it very helpful, which is why it is harmful to me in my own mind when I don't record for such a long time and then beat myself up about it, because ultimately I don't have to do anything, but I feel I should do something just to fill the time, I guess, for the most part. One thing I was doing too, which it's easy to do, and I'll fall back in. Again, don't speak anything into reality, but it's a very easy habit to give too much of your service, I guess, in an unhelpful direction. It was the scenario that I was talking about before of just because I have the ability to do something didn't mean that I should do something all the time. And that fell into the category of just, like, I know how to do web design. I have the basic knowledge of video game design, sure. But I hate them. I don't care at all to do them. But I would, out of my own free will, of course, and just over bragging to some extent, would find myself assisting others who genuinely needed the assistance to make stuff that they really wanted to make but didn't have the practice in doing. And in just a means to have some self-gratification, I guess, would get stuck into a dead-end project that never actually went anywhere and wasted my time and theirs, essentially. It just put me off of wanting to do a lot of stuff on my own terms too. It was my own fault. So now whenever I meet someone new, I try not to talk about what I know I could technically do. Because that's all it was. So, a lot of the times whenever I would meet a new person, it's a bad habit. Always, it's a bad habit. But the only way for me to like open up to people, to be friendly in general, was I needed to show that I was capable of doing something. Something productive, even if it was an old dead skill. I don't know how many times I've said I have a college credit in typing, the most useless skill you could ever have in your entire life. And yet, every time I meet a new person, that just somehow just got brought up. Just because I'm trying to find something to say, oh, I did something cool in high school. Whatever. No one cares. I did video game design. Good for me. I'm nobody. Not to fault anyone who actually knows, like, actual game design. I knew the basics of anything I possibly had to brag about was knowing the basics of something. So yeah, that's my issue. One of many. Fucking college credit in typing. That's so sad. It's such a stupid... And you know what? I don't even... That was a given credit. Like, it wasn't a hard thing to get. You just had to be able to type above, like, a certain... speed, which I can't do now, by the way. Just because I got it in high school doesn't mean I kept it. I kept the information. I'm not even sure where to put my fingers anymore on the keyboard. I'm not good at typing at all. And the way I do type is clunky and not efficient. Same thing with, like, video game design. I took the class in high school, sure. It doesn't mean I know anything about it. The only thing I learned was... I learned where the buttons were, basically. That's about it. I don't know how to make anything. I knew how to connect certain nodes to make a thing work in Unity. I understood, like, a very basic... I could make a few shapes in Blender, and that's it. It would take an immense amount of effort to try and make something now, and I don't want to. I hate using Blender and Unity. Not that they're not good, but I just don't enjoy making games as much as I thought I would. I thought I would be the cool one to make video games. I just hate it. I hate coding. I knew how to code in school. I don't know how to do it now. But everything's AI now anyways. As much as I try to avoid it, and I do avoid it, at some point it just feels like a pointless, I guess. I put a lot of effort into having everything be handmade here on YouTube and anywhere else I am. And sometimes it just feels wasted. Knowing that AI is such a prevalent issue. This looks cool. Kind of. Not really. This is an absurdly big roof. That I won't get to use at all. But I would like to stand at the top of it every day. That isn't to say that I don't use AI at all. I don't use it in art. That's the line. I will never use it in art because that's just too personal to me. But I love talking to AI. It is cool to hear the responses, and all it is I forget what it is. It's a word. A word. What do you call it? Not a word generator, but it's assuming... It's filling out the words of what it thinks should be next. That most likely would be next. That's a very, like, simplified version of it. It's cool. whatever. You can like whatever you want. You don't have to like ChatGPT, and you can hate it for stealing fucking water from locals. But it's a cool thing, and it's not going away. Much as people would like it to, it's not going anywhere, realistically. I heard Clio's doing good, I guess. They have a new AI that's supposed to be the best of the best, and they won't even release it to the public because it's too, not necessarily dangerous, but too good at what it knows how to do, and can be a security risk in the wrong hands. I like learning about how it explains the way it thinks. I don't even know if it necessarily is the way it thinks. Thinks loosely used there. It's hard to talk about AI without, like, especially if you don't know anything about it. I don't know enough about it to be like, I know how this thing works, but just opening a prompt, opening a chat room with ChatGPT and asking, how do you think this works? And hearing the response is cool, basically. Because I totally do go down the rabbit hole of, like, I'll ask it a question, and the way I type, I'm better at phone typing, obviously, because I type very lengthy paragraphs. Like, I'm the person who sends you a page response. Here's my two moods. Either I send you a one-word response, or I send you a full page in vivid detail of unnecessary, you know, unnecessary wording. But I like doing that with ChatGPT because it'll match you. Whatever, if you're doing short responses, it'll do short responses. Personality, forced personality, of course, based on whatever you are interested in. But still, it's always cool to see how it interacts with everything around it. This is so cool. In a way, it's cool. I like it. It's coming together slowly. I do agree with the idea that, God, not even ChatGPT, just AI in general is taking over, a lot. And I don't know for better or worse. It hasn't taken over. It's not like it's taken over my job yet, but eventually it definitely will. I work in. I mean, I guess there's no harm in me talking about what I actually do. I am a warehouse worker. That's what I do. What happened? Oh yeah, it got bigger. I forgot. I am the forklift certified person, which is cool, I guess. At least it used to be 20 years ago. But I have been hearing a lot about the robot warehouse workers. And as much as people want to laugh at the idea, or the notion, it is a thing. It's not like it's not a thing. It's just whatever warehouses can afford it or will be given it at whatever time. Eventually, it's going to be affordable, is what I mean. And if, the arrogance people have, too, when they see the Amazon workers, the Amazon robot workers, and it's like a slow robot moving one thing to one platform to another, and they act like that's not impressive. What they don't realize is it can go forever. And obviously you see that same argument in chat too. It's not like everyone's oblivious, but it's definitely easy to get lost in there will always be a person to run things behind the scene. I just don't agree with that at all. There is no reason eventually that machinery cannot be not infinitely replenishing of itself, but effectively infinite. What people don't understand is we can make things that are very effectively infinite. That is a thing. Like our assumption of what can and cannot be infinite is very limited. I just don't think it's that hard or that far off to make something, if it's not already here, to make something that can replenish itself faster than other parts are decaying. Is this correct? Yeah, because the roof, it's going to be hard to see the roof. So the top block will be, or like the center here will be like actual blocks. Should be cool. That's one side. You get the idea, anyways. And I'll make those, you know what? That's what was going wrong, was this needs to be taller on the inside, these sections. My throat is hurting again. I talk way too much. Ugh. I mean, we finished one side. If looking at it from the right angle, like right here, you can see if they're a little taller. The walls in the middle, if they're a little taller, it works more together. And this could be multiple floors anyways. It could be a dojo for all I care. It's not the worst. There still needs to be way more, like at the bottom. Wow, this mist looks cool. It hides some of the ugly. And we have positions to actually like make the staircases go up. And still have like the... It'll work. It'll long term it works. I'm tired though. And I've ranted a lot, and I've complained a lot, and I've overshared a lot. And I don't want to... I don't want to not do this often, because I really do want to... I want to do this. I didn't do much, honestly, in this video. All I did was, like, build a roof and I think a pillar and a half, because I'm very slow and I get way too sidetracked. But, I do like this. There is a lot of thoughts in my head that, like, get jumbled up, and I need an outlet. I have to have an outlet, or I'll lose it, basically. I just need a way to articulate whatever I'm thinking in my brain at the moment, even if it gets wayward sidetracked every few minutes. Because for a while, it just wasn't an option. It didn't feel like an option, and I didn't realize how helpful the option would be to have. So, that's fine. For today, I'm done. I'm tired. I've wasted my weekend, kind of. Not really. I've just... No matter what I do, it'll be imperfect. My weekend's over, and I gotta go back to work. So... Goodbye, all. Hopefully I can get on tonight. I'm out of money, too, so I can't even get fast food. That's fine. I'll see you all in the next one.